Gentlemen, I gather you all know why we're here today?
To kick names and take butt.
If we're gonna do that, I'm gonna need my helmet.
Okay. No. The point of this meeting is not to do that, but to discuss something serious, Mr. Murphy.
I think a little too serious, and also let's drop the formalities.
I know.
A little too. I mean,
do I have to drop the helmet?
No, keep the helmet.
Keep the helmet.
Okay.
No, we are now reviewing the final movie in the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, The Hidden World.
It's been a long time coming.
I know. About 5 years since the end of the second movie.
Yes, and quite a journey it was.
Oh, boy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You know, if you would have asked me, 10 years ago? 9 years ago, that this franchise could be such impactful, I would have laughed. I would laugh at the title that How to Train Your Dragon is going to be so emotionally impactful that it would make you cry.
Mm-hmm. I think you're still feeling the effects. I mean, you're not like shouting or speaking very loud.
Yeah, well, that kind of happens when it's that kind of film that makes you somber.
Yeah, this movie was a real punch in the feels.
So many feels.
Ian, what did you think of it?
What did I think of it? Well, to put it into perspective, this is a series that I grew up with. The first movie came out when I was in 5th grade. And I grew up watching the series. I mean, every Saturday morning, I would wake up my little brother, and we would go downstairs, and we would watch whatever episode I had recorded from that week. And that became a tradition until the series ended and movie 2 was released. And so these are characters that I grew up with. I got to grow up with these characters. And to see it end after 9 years of my life, that hits hard.
I know.
It really does.
All right, full disclosure. I am gonna ask everyone, and I want you all to be completely 100% honest. Did you cry at the end? It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I did. Bullshit!
I like to call bull.
I said 100% complete honesty.
That is honest. I didn't cry at the end of the movie. I did get a little teary-eyed. My chest was tight. My sister cried. But I was numb after everything that happened. It did hit hard and it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But with this isn't something that I could cry about. This is just something that I can look back on with very fond memories. And I'm glad I don't see it end, but I'm glad to see it end on such a good note.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes. I mean, when I tell you why I cried, it's kind of weird. It was the weirdest reason why I cried, because not just for the heartbreaking fact that the dragons have to go away. No. That only made me shed a couple of tears. But what hit me the most was how beautiful the entire picture was. Wouldn't you guys agree?
The entire picture?
Do you remember the first time entering the hidden world?
Oh, okay, that's what you meant.
The first time entering the hidden world, seeing all the dragons that we have come to see throughout the entire franchise, culminating in this one moment where we see all the harmony of those. I can't remember the name again. The fire ones, the little flaming dragons.
Oh, fireworms.
The fireworms, to all the other ones, and it was just a sight to behold.
Yeah, I watched it twice in the theaters. I think maybe to make up for the fact that I didn't see the first two movies in theaters.
Well, then I got everyone beat because I saw all three in theaters.
Actually, I did see the first one in theaters. I didn't get to see the second one.
And it was just amazing at how all that hard work came into this movie. I mean, especially with the hidden world, and yes, kind of bioluminescence has kind of become like the new thing nowadays.
Oh yeah.
But it's still something new, especially in the world of dragons. Because that's only been touched on a bit in the series with the Flightmare, and actually after they cross into the hidden world, you actually see a lagoon or a lake or something, a puddle of water, and there's this blue glow. And I'm kind of glad that I decided, after seeing the third one the first time, I backtracked on all the episodes. That's the Flightmare algae.
Yeah. And of course, this movie gave us so much stuff that we wanted to see, that we were craving for.
We almost got everything that we wanted.
We almost got everything that we wanted.
There's a few things I would have liked to see, but...
Such as?
Oh, you want to say that again?
Yeah, say that again.
A snap trapper, hashtag give us the snap trapper.
Yes,
DreamWorks.
We didn't get to see movie quality Heather or Dagger or any of the Berserkers.
Yeah, sadly.
Or Razor Whip.
Or a Speed Stinger.
Speed Stinger. Yes, but let's see, what did we get? Let's see, we got
Baby Night Furies.
We got Baby Night Furies. We got Hiccup and Astrid married.
Yes.
We got them with their own kids.
Yes.
Quick, over my face, John. Over my face and post put Hickstrid.
Hickstrid.
No, forget my face. Everywhere.
And do you gentlemen remember the question, I do believe in our first podcast that I asked you, what would the kids look like?
What would the kids look like?
And I don't remember which of us came close.
I don't know either.
I gotta take a look at it now.
It was really amazing. The story is just solid. It's just not. There's really nothing that I can really nitpick about it. Plot-wise, however, there's a little bit of a crack.
Yeah.
We'll get into that.
I think
Hiccup really wants to go out and explore.
Okay.
And also the music. Oh my god.
The music's beautiful.
Music is beautiful, the scenery and the colors. This was a film that was worth the wait.
It was worth the build-up.
I know. Oh.
And even the minor nitpicks that you have, that I have, and even my little nitpick with the villain, that really doesn't hold anything to this monster of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And It's been a while since that movie has hit me like that.
I know. Oh boy. Oh.
Okay, where do we start?
I don't really think. I just don't think of making this a review. I just think of this as just like a chat between friends where we just give our thoughts.
All right.
Like what?
A discussion, then.
A discussion, yes. And I'll try not to talk too much.
Okay.
Both of you guys know that I really love to talk when it comes to film.
Well, yes. But that's because you're a good film expert.
As a film enthusiast.
Film enthusiast. But that said, what do you guys think of Grimmel, the villain?
I actually like Grimmel, and I actually had to do some thinking about why I liked him, especially over like Drago or Krogan. He still doesn't hold a candle to Vigo.
Oh no.
No.
But let's see, I find Grimmel was entertaining, and rightfully so. But I find him very lacking in the villainy department because they try to, like, at least with other stuff, they have, like, sort of like a foil with Hiccup.
Mm-hmm.
But they try to force that. Hold on. Okay. They try to force a foil between Grimmel and Hiccup's like, I killed my first Night Fury. I was hailed as a hero. And it came out, it felt like it was just forcing that kind of foil.
I don't know about force, but I did like that idea. But it is glossed over a lot.
Yes. It really didn't sell. It didn't sell the idea to me that this is what Hiccup could have become.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of felt weird because I'm gonna take us out of the zone here. Like with Toy Story, you could see Woody becoming like Lotso or even a prospector after exploring his character. We explored Woody's journey, but we never quite did explore what Hiccup was like before he met Toothless. In fact, the entire journey was the first 5 minutes he meets Toothless and befriends him.
First 10 minutes actually we do see what Hiccup was like in the first movie. He's the outcast. He's the weirdo.
He's the outcast. He's the weirdo. But was Grimmel the outcast?
We don't know, and I guess
maybe.
Ian, I think before I hijack the rest of this, how about your thoughts on Grimmel?
I don't know. I mean, he's very different from Scene, and that can be taken a couple ways. I think he's more akin to Vigo than any of the other villains we've seen, but Vigo, I mean that evident. But as far as how he worked in the story, I felt for the story it worked. I think that even though this is the longest Dragons movie made so far,
actually, I think the longest one that DreamWorks has ever made. I think at an hour 45 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all the others were an hour and a half.
Standard, pretty standard.
Yeah. I mean,
Just made it a solid 2 hours. It would have been better. We could have gotten more characterization.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Grimmel's not a bad character by any stretch.
Right.
It just...
I think you had more to say, Ian, before, again, I interrupted.
No, that's it, really.
Okay. And I kind of will because I talked with Tyler about this, and I will give it this, that Grimmel is not really an interesting villain. He's compelling. I'll give him that, and honestly, I kind of like the interaction when he introduces himself to Hiccup, especially the fact that he's the only one that kind of made fun of his name,
Oh yeah.
and I really like that. So do I refer to you as Chief Hiccup, or do you prefer just Hiccup?
That was a good introduction to Hiccup there. Not gonna lie.
Although we can't forgive him for sitting in Stoic's chair.
No, yeah.
But I'd have to say that Drago has a better backstory than Grimmel.
Yeah, he does.
And the thing is that Drago, and so this is what actually kind of made me start thinking is that why didn't I like Drago or Krogan as much as a villain, but I like Grimmel and I like Vigo, and that's because they kind of remind me of the villains that I grew up with as a kid.
The charisma type.
The charismatic ones, the ones that have a range of emotions, that also have a limit. Like the Radigans, the Jafars, the Gastons.
Oh yes.
And it's even during Disney's second renaissance with The Princess and the Frog, Dr. Facilier, aka Shadow Man, was a very compelling villain.
Oh yeah. And motives aside, he is a very compelling villain. He's honestly, his mannerism is fun to watch. It's just more engaging just to see what he's doing rather than just what he's plotting.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the thing. It's more interesting to watch what he's doing than, planning schemes or anything else. I mean, it was funny trying to track out Hiccup in the group.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, yeah. That's the other thing. Like when he's talking to the 3 Eastern Vikings,
I guess Warlords. Here.
That's what Wikipedia called them, warlord.
The Eastern Warlords. I mean, one of them kind of looked like
Genghis Khan.
Yeah. He's going like, so that means they're going. What? What?
Yeah. But now, Ian, what did you think of the Light Fury when you first saw her?
Clarify, first in the movie or first in the trailer?
Either.
Well, based on what the trailer showed, I thought that they had introduced magic into dragons when they saw her disappear. Like, holy crap, we got teleporting dragons now? What the heck is this?
That's what I thought too.
I guess I
But-
blacked out. I'm blinding myself on that.
But as for what we actually got, that's brilliant.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
And
But as for her design,
Her design is awesome.
I know, if, John, I'm gonna have to send you a picture of one of my cats.
Mm-hmm.
When we first saw her and the Light Fury and Toothless on the beach, I leaned over to my sister and said, "She looks like a peach!" Because we have a cat named Peaches, and the Light Fury looks and acts exactly like our cat. She is just her posture, her face, how she holds herself, how she carries herself. It all reminds me of Peach. It's so awesome.
That is awesome.
And we do
Yes.
have to admit, this Light Fury was very cute.
Yes.
Honestly, the whole Toothless trying to court her was cute and adorable.
I know.
Oh my god!
And especially, after their first meeting, and when he observes the two natters doing their mating dance, and then he mimics it to his shadow, and then rubs. Oh my god! It was just so adorable.
It was completely adorable.
Was.
And him drawing on that beach to impress her, that was
A good callback.
a good callback. Oh, now you can draw.
Yeah. That's after seeing that a second time. That song has become actually my second favorite track on in the entire Dragon series. It's because it's Toothless's version of Forbidden Friendship.
Oh yeah. And so much to say.
Oh my god! Like I am actually just amazed at the entire pacing of the film. I mean, at
Agreed.
30 minutes doesn't actually even feel like 30 minutes have passed.
Honestly, it felt like it was too short still, even when you know that it's a 2 hour and 45. What is it? 2 hours?
No, 1 hour 45.
Sorry, 1 hour 45-minute movie.
I know, it still feels short.
It still feels short, and that's a quality of marksman right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole movie was just like, oh, man, I don't even know what to say.
Ian, how about you take over?
Something that's been bugging me ever since I watched it. What is going on with Snotlout and Volca?
Yeah, that was a discussion I had.
There's a mood change? What's going on?
I really don't know.
I think he's just ass kissing her.
Brown nose.
Brown nose. He's trying to
Okay,
get favor.
cause it... Okay, yeah, and the way... I mean, even Astrid picked up on this, and my brain just went into overdrive. Snotlout, that is your aunt.
Yeah, though, don't think that was ever said in the movies.
That's
the books.
that hasn't been established at all if that Hiccup and Snotlout are related. It's I guess it's just something that we take from the books.
Yeah.
I recall, if you... Way back when the first movie was released, I was on the website. The website did say that Hiccup and Snotlout were cousins.
Okay.
Don't recall ever mentioning that anywhere.
Maybe not in the series, but that was on the official website way back when. I don't know if it's still on there now or if that's been retconned.
Yeah. All the characters got a major redesign.
Okay, I'm still... Fish Legs, that mustache, just no, Fish Legs. That mustache is new. It looks weird.
And Snotlout is actually kind of the funniest one because he actually decided to get bigger horns on his helmet. And I think the reason why is that I think he's compensating for something.
We all knew that.
You know, because he's actually the shortest Viking.
Yes.
He's the shortest Viking. It's seriously, when he's arguing with Eret, he stands on top of a barrel.
Yeah.
Funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I love most of the redesigns, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Astrid particularly. That was it wasn't major, but
it was actually something. Wasn't something I expected. I thought she would keep the braid.
And I think it's better without it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
man.
excuse me.
Which one is it this time?
That is mine, Angus.
It's still Angus.
They do this all the time.
I was willing to bet it's going to be Angus. But
How about their armor?
armor design is good.
Yeah, it's I like that they just that it's armor that is made from the shed scales of their dragons, so it kind of makes it
Fireproof.
and it also it gives them their own kind of color scheme.
Oh yeah, that was actually pretty brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And just imagine like all the different kind of armors you could make with all the dragons from the series that we watched, the TV series.
I think the one thing that bugs me about it is that we didn't really get a good look at Aerith's armor for Skull Crusher. I mean,
Yeah.
you briefly see it,
Yeah.
but not as much as like the main group, the main writers.
Yeah.
And I think we can pretty much guess the reason why Hiccup made dragon suits like that. I'm sure because he took inspiration from his mom.
Mm-hmm.
Because her flight suit is kind of meant to not mimic Cloud Jumper, but the Bewilderbeast.
Oh yeah. And I'm so glad Volca didn't have to go.
Mm-hmm.
That was my biggest concern going into the third movie, that it was going to be her turn to go to reunite with Stoic.
God, where can we move? Now
I had
where
a
can we
thought.
move on? Oh,
What is it?
I just decided to take my monstrous nightmare and run away with it.
jeez. You say that again?
Repeat?
Monstrous nightmare figure.
Hmm.
Oh,
You
turd.
decided to take. Angus took your monstrous nightmare.
Yes.
Okay.
They do this all the time, I'm serious. They steal my bags of fossils, they run off with them, and then knock things off shelves.
Are they thieves? Are you training to become thieves in the
Peaches is, she has a particular fondness for my plastic bags full of fossils.
Ian, I just want your thought. What was going through your mind when you first saw the Hidden World for the first time? When Hiccup and Astrid go into it?
Ooh,
When
that is...
when you saw all the fireworms, when you saw all the dragons, when you saw all the algae, when you saw everything, the beautiful scenery encompassing around.
I was honestly so excited and overwhelmed with joy, I wasn't really paying attention. Hale and I kept looking around trying to name every dragon that we saw. When we saw the fireworms, we leaned over to each other and went, "Fireworms! Oh my gosh!" Although, did you guys see Drago's Bewilderbeast?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, John,
What?
what do you think?
I was in absolute awe of all the colors. Okay. Alright, hold on. Let's see, camera stopped recording. There we go. Okay. It's okay, just a little technical difficulty, nothing to worry about, nothing to see. But the Hidden World, I was just in awe. I mean, there's no other way I could describe it. The first time I went to go see it in theaters, my sister Mandy, the oldest sister, volunteered to come with me, and even she was in awe of the Hidden World. I heard her gasp. I heard her go awe, and how it switches from the colors and then everything just brightens up because of this huge rock substance. It was so amazing.
And you were there when I first saw it, and I honestly was tearing up. Like, I was tearing up at how beautiful, like, it was so beautiful to behold, to witness this. It was so beautiful, I had chills down my spine. I was shedding a tear, wishing that it was real. I wish, like, this is as real as it's gonna get, that I could see it with my own eyes. And it was that beautiful that made me tear up. I don't think I ever teared up like that before. The only thing I remember seeing such a beautiful piece of art that made me tear up was in an anime.
Oh.
Now it's called Nad.
Oh boy. Oh god, yeah. This isn't. I even told you that you see this movie, you're gonna cry like a key animation.
Yeah. You weren't lying about that.
No.
I was hoping you were wrong.
Yeah. Oh, Mike. Alright, so what? Alright, so I guess we can also discuss is that why did this movie take so long to get here? And a majority of that actually has to deal with behind the scenes. I don't mean production-wise.
No developing conflicts.
There were some developing conflicts. Let's see. The movie was originally supposed to be released in 2017, I think 2016, but it got constantly moved back. And that kind of has to do with a number of things. One is that after kind of like a string of movie releases that didn't quite meet expectations, DreamWorks had to fire a number of people from their animation staff.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there was the whole being bought by Comcast, which also kind of pushed the dates back, and Comcast is what owns Universal, and so The Hidden World is now actually the first DreamWorks animated film to be released by Universal. And How to Train Your Dragon is the only movie that's actually been released by 3 different companies, or distributed by 3 different companies. See, there was DreamWorks' original Paramount distributor.
Alright.
And then when How to Train Your Dragon 2, that was their first went in from being distributed under 20th Century Fox.
They jumped the ship a bit.
Mm-hmm. And now The Hidden World is the first to be distributed under Universal.
Is there any other distributor left?
No.
It's like you're trying to do a record of how many distributors can we get through.
I don't... And there were also numerous drafts to the story. At one point, Drago actually was going to return, and I guess there were plans on giving him a redemption arc.
I'm not sure how that would have worked.
I don't know either, but
I don't think it would have worked that well.
But it was ultimately dropped because there would just be too many characters for the story.
And honestly, can any of us forgive Drago for what he did to Snook?
Mm-hmm. Are you still really depressed, man? Because you are just not loud.
I'm sorry.
You're the one who wanted a camera to perform.
Doesn't mean I'll ever be shouting George of the Jungle here.
Okay.
Gotta treat it with respect.
Okay.
The respect the movie deserves.
Alright.
It's kind of like the race to Fireworm Island.
Okay. Alrighty then. And then just need to then I'll just adjust the audio in post.
Okay. Sorry.
So I feel like there's still so much to talk. There's still so much to talk about this movie, but
there's so much, and yet
I can't pick which ones.
Okay. How about intros? Intros was fun to watch. I mean,
oh yeah,
Burke looks overcrowded.
Yeah.
Big hiccup. You have the problem that a lot of characters I saw in anime have. You're picking up all the random cats. You're picking up all the cats and dogs and taking them home. Your island is overcrowded. And Gobber had a point when he said that was a problem.
Mm-hmm. I honestly... Oh, go ahead, Ian.
Go ahead.
Gobber. He has a new obsession. Goblin!
Oh, yes. That was the weirdest dragon I've ever seen.
I know.
I honestly want to know more about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious.
And it was actually kind of funny that every time they appeared, there was actually more of them. And I was kind of wondering how, and when we find out what they do, they're termites. They're like termites. They eat wood.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, okay, did Volka just willingly withheld that information since, she lived among dragons for 20 years?
It's kind of a scary thought to have termite dragons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, especially when a majority of your livelihood is in wood.
Yeah.
Ape now. You either have smothering smoke breath stealing all your metal, or you get these termite hobgoblin things.
Well, I guess hobgoblins would be the lesser of two evils.
Lesser of two evils, to be sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you live in an area where there's an abundance of trees, you do have a lot of wood lumber material before that runs out. Not so much metal.
Yeah.
It's just...
What did you guys think of the opening scene?
I was constantly wondering how is the movie going to start? I thought it would be just the standard "This is Burke" narration.
Instead, we got ninjas.
It just cut right to the action.
Now, I was pleased to hear when, they were told about trappers, and Hiccup's like, "We dealt with them before."
No, that describing Grimmel.
Yeah.
He's someone who he enjoys the hunt, likes to get into his prey's head, and it's all a game to him.
And I just love that he's like, "We dealt with this kind before," and I'm like, yes.
Also, fireworms, the algae. It's nice to know there's at least some connection to the series.
Yes.
And it's sort of weird. Like Ian, you grew up with the series when it was first on Cartoon Network. So How to Train Your Dragon 2 had to pretty much take what the series established and put it in there. But then when Race to the Edge was entered into the mix, it had to go backwards. The series writers had to take from the second movie to make the kind of connection, and so to kind of see it all back to normal. Like the third movie had to take connections from the series to put it in there. It's kind of a weird experience.
It is a weird experience. Well, that's a fun kind.
Yes, a fun kind.
Now, I was kind of curious about how Grimmel attacked Hiccup, saying he was nothing like his father. Like, he was comparing Hiccup to his father, and that Hiccup was nothing like his father because he can only do anything with his dragon. He's like the Iron Man conundrum here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're nothing without your dragon. And I'm like, I don't know about that, but that's a pretty interesting plot to explore.
It is, yeah.
I mean, we all saw how this song and dance go. We all saw how it ended, and it was fun to see him prove Grimoire wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And to prove that, no, I can do great things like my dad did.
Let's see, and yeah, I don't know. In the back of my mind, I'm constantly thinking, Ian, we are pretty much just hijacking this entire discussion, and you hardly speak. I mean, is there anything that you just want to, state to give your thoughts on? I mean, you are a part of this as well.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's just so much running through my head.
I know, it's hard.
But I'll just pick this one. During that opening sequence with the trappers, I had to enjoy that one guy's reaction to Hiccup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's David Tennant, by the way.
It's a demon! Those legs are too skinny to be on any mere human.
That's actually David Tennant, the voice of Spitelout.
Oh gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Did he go back in time?
I guess so.
Probably. Yeah, I did like that sequence, and also sort of like the first movie, it establishes the tone of the movie. But favorite part aside from Hiccup and Toothless walking through fire, which was my favorite shot from the trailer. Yeah. Was the one shot of all the writers, well, mostly Hiccup and Astrid fighting the trappers, and the rest of the groups getting like lucky shots. I mean, it was really good. It was all done with one camera, so to speak. That's moving around doing one take, so we're not seeing any cuts and that kind of thing. I like shots that do that because to an average moviegoer, when they blink, it sort of fools them into thinking there is a cut when there isn't.
Action in Dragon's opening before? I mean, maybe the first movie.
Mm-hmm. The second movie was kind of was dragon racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was kind of more to show.
While being pretty awesome, that's not as kick-ass.
No, and it's I guess it was just more to show like how it was meant to show how different how much Burke has changed from the first movie.
If I had to be fair, when I first saw the opening for number 3, I was expecting the entire gang to come together, and I was picturing the Avengers scene playing in my head as they're lining up to defend the other dragons. It's like dun 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 dun. And I was like, that would have been perfect.
Yeah. Ian, what did you think of the Crimson Gore Cutter? I don't know why, but I keep wanting to say Core Gutter for some reason.
Oh god, that's worse.
I don't know. It's got to be it's the
creepiest dragon I've ever seen.
It's definitely that. It's different, but it looks so much like a moose.
Oh god.
But Ian, what did you think?
I want one.
You
want one?
You want? Once one.
I'll take the Whispering Death over that.
What about the death song?
I'll take that. At least that one's fun to look at.
I think, and it was, and this dragon kind of forms like a little bit of a bond with the newborn broncle that Fish Legs constantly carries around, which we hear its name Fish Meat.
That just why? Why Fish Legs? That poor thing's gonna get made fun of in Dragon World.
I don't think they have names.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, fish. Would you imagine your child being called Fish Meat?
Is that worse than having a child called Toothless?
At least Toothless sounds like a fun nickname.
Wouldn't Fish Meat be a nickname too?
Fish Meat sounds like cannon fodder.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, there is one thing that I did wanted to address, or want to talk about. We have to address the yak in the room.
The yak in the room?
Did any of you notice that Tough Nut sounded a little different?
Yeah. This is an outrage!
I'm sorry, Ian, but I think this had to happen, actually. TJ Miller, who has been the voice of Rough Nut for a majority, for all of Dragons, he had to be fired and he had to be recast because
opinions.
Well, not just opinions. Quite frankly, he has been on a self-destructive path that will ultimately land him in federal prison for 5 years if it goes to court. So he's pretty much been on the verge of career suicide since the Emoji Movie.
Yeah.
What happened?
It only takes one little mistake.
Well, he is a very outspoken critic again of Donald Trump, and unfortunately, there are some people who, when they criticize Donald Trump, they take it a little too far, sort of like religious zealotry. He's been accused of physical assault. Someone actually even accused him of sexual assault. That didn't seem to go out, but the straw that broke the there was also him leaving Silicon Valley,
and yeah,
which was his great. That was his money. That was the moneymaker. That was the paying gig. But the straw that broke the camel's back was in April of 2018. So about a month after the final season of Race to the Edge was released on Netflix. He calls the New York police and says that there is a possible bomb on a train in Grand Central Station. Police come, find no bomb and an intoxicated TJ Miller. It was fake.
And they all take that.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm. And it turns out he might have the and the reason why he called that was because before getting on the train is that he got into an argument with a woman. Don't know who, don't know what the connection is, but either way, something happened.
Something went down.
And TJ Miller drunken brain thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna call the police and say there's a bomb.
How the mighty have fallen.
And so because of this, if this goes to court, he could go to federal prison for 5 years. And this is what also
nice.
Yeah, and this is what also this is what also where Fox, well, before it got bought by Disney, why if there's another Deadpool movie, he won't be around anymore. Weasel is out.
Sad to say.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe this will be like the event like Robert Downey Jr.
Like Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe he'll turn his life around after this. But that's up to him.
So, alright, so instead, the voice... Now, after that long-winded explanation of that contextual history, the guy that... who they got to replace T.J. Miller is named Justin Ruppel. And...
Not bad.
He's not bad. In fact, there are actually a few moments in the movie that actually felt like, yeah, that's Tough Nut. That's Tough Nut.
Yeah.
Like, is she made of sky?
Weep into my beard, hiccup. Weep into my beard.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I look at her, I get acid reflux.
And... Oh, man. Yeah. Tough Nut.
Mm-hmm. It is kind of a shame that they had to replace someone who's left such a kind of like an impact, or at least kind of left his mark on this character.
Oh yeah.
But if they had kept T.J. Miller, there probably would have been some repercussions.
Ooh.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, what'd you think of Rough Nut, Ian? Did you face palm at the fact, like, I love how she escaped.
Mm-hmm.
Totally love how she escaped.
And good continuity with Race to the Edge. Remember how annoying she was when the trappers tried to invade the Edge?
Oh yeah. Don't you hate when someone doesn't shut up? I'm like, yes. What did you think of how she could have doomed us all?
She did doom them all.
Yeah.
What?
Well, be honest, every time I saw her doing her little thing, I'm like, oh, come on, this chick has a serious libido issue. She needs to get married off.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Most
That
definitely.
may be taken across as sexist, and I don't mean it that way. But taking into context Viking culture, that's what needs to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what really got me to hit my head was like, no, it was like, Hiccup, like, did you see if you were falling? Oh, Hiccup, you know me. I never look back.
And I just imagine Kirito from SAO Abridged going, "You fall, you've doomed us all!"
Yeah, that was my reaction.
So, the idiot ball has been handed off.
Well,
Now
she was, it's not like we all didn't know she was an idiot, but still.
But Race to the Edge, she was
a lot smarter than that.
She was a lot smarter than that, yes.
Because it took a massive dump.
I don't. Now that Not Allowed has relinquished his crown of King Bonehead, we have a new heir to the throne.
I guess so.
Okay, and while we're on the topic of Rough Nut, fellers, who does she end up with?
Who does she end up with?
Who do we ship her with?
I had no idea.
No, in the film.
No one.
And she did hug that
You
guy's
sure?
arm. Don't know who.
Like whose arm?
At the end, like some guy grabbed her, like crying, like
That's fish legs.
yeah, fish legs. I keep forgetting he's fish legs because of the dang mustache. Keep forgetting
So
that. I'm like,
apparently it's now canon that they're a couple.
I don't know.
okay, sure, I'll take that because unless they're gonna make more, which I doubt,
No.
I'm not gonna complain because
Although Dean said that he is open to the idea of what was that? What's that term? Spin-offs. That's it.
I wonder how you're gonna do that. I'm not sure how you're gonna do that. I mean, would we focus on Hiccup's kids and see their adventures?
I don't.
I'm all for that. I want to see those two kids find their own destinies.
But would you still call it dragons?
No.
But,
Recording.
oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, camera stopped again. So I just need hit record. Man, I love this remote live view.
That's pretty.
All right. Okay, gonna resync. Syncing sound. 3, 2, 1. All right. You know, we have gone about an hour into this discussion, and we have not really talked about the characters the characters that are at the core.
You mean Hickshred?
I mean Hiccup and Toothless.
Letting go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, in many ways, I feel like this shows Hiccup as like the father it's like a precursor to him being an actual father.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I kind of feel. Honestly, I think the. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's the story that. It's the story in the hidden world between Hiccup and Toothless that I think that's why I kind of like it more than movie 2.
Oh, definitely.
Oh my god.
I mean, Hiccup at first was in denial, kind of. Not like so much as in self-denial, but he's like, he thought they were going to be together forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer it goes, the longer you have to know that we all know how this was going to end, but it's going to be still heart-wrenching for him to having to face that realization himself that, let it go, Hiccup.
Hiccup and Toothless can't be together forever.
Yes.
And that's what I really loved about this movie is that throughout the whole time it's Hiccup who is trying to keep Toothless with him. It's trying to remain attached to him. And
actually, that was like the thing with the first two movies, in a way.
Yeah, well, it was like the first two movies is like of how their bond is what makes them stronger. The third movie is kind of showing that their bond is so strong enough that they can now need each other anymore. They can now grow on their own. And while it's sad, I mean, that doesn't mean that they'll never be friends anymore.
Indeed.
They made each other who they are.
What do you think of the...
Ian, your thoughts?
Yes.
Well, like I said, I grew up with it. And I can empathize with Hiccup going through this, because the way he has to let go of Toothless is like how we have to let go of the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he grew up with Toothless, and I grew up with the series. I just don't really know what to do now.
That's... Yeah.
I know.
That said, what's DreamWorks gonna do?
What the end of this franchise has now kind of put the DreamWorks future into question.
Yeah. Because this was the thing that made them.
This was their crowning achievement. This was their crown jewel.
Oh yeah. So much. I mean, I hate this. We hate to rehash ourselves, but from previous entries, what we said. But this is DreamWorks' crowning jewel.
Mm-hmm. I honestly love the description, or the synopsis that this movie has. Is that you can never train yourself to let go, and that is truth. That is
fact
truth.
of life.
And what makes what the Hidden World actually much more sad, and is that all the movies that we've kind of grown up, like with Disney or Don Bluth, things like The Land Before Time, The Lion King, those Bambi,
Yeah.
those bring tears to our eyes, because those are about parents who died, parents who you think are gonna live forever, who's gonna be there for you, and then just ripped from you due to circumstances. Yes. But with the Hidden World, it's not the death of someone. It's not the death of someone you love, or of a parent, or a sibling, or a best friend. It's that just having to watch them leave
Leave the nest.
to leave. Yeah,
Metaphorically speaking.
to watch them leave, knowing that they're still alive. You can still be with them, but due to circumstances, is that you can't. Is that they won't grow if they stay attached to you. And I don't know. I feel that that's just kind of a little bit more. That's a more tragic, really. I mean, well, maybe not. Well, I guess maybe the reason why I think that is because death and drama, they walk hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't really see a lot in stories where friends have to be apart in order to protect each other.
Yeah. Though, starting to notice a lot of them recently.
What?
Actually, been watching a slew of them.
Of what?
Friends having to be apart to protect each other.
That friends have to go their separate ways.
Yes.
And I think, like I said, there's like a lot that I could talk about. I have a lot of thoughts.
All of us could be talking about this all day.
Mm-hmm. We could probably be talking about this for 3 hours. I think it's hiccup. I think what I definitely noticed is that Dean his direction has a lot of symbolism.
Oh,
Like-
it does.
Oh yeah, like in the first How to Train Your Dragon movie, Toothless loses left tail fin. At the end, Hiccup loses his left leg. In the second movie, Drago is like the anti-Hiccup when it comes to dragon loyalty. But in How to Train Your Dragon 3, what's symbolic is in the final fight, in the climax of that final fight, where Hiccup was willing to die for Toothless. He grabs Grimmel. Grimmel is like hanging on to him. Hiccup frees the Light Fury, which, by the way, we don't know her name. She's not given a name. Hiccup is... Hiccup, I know you want your attention. Alright. He pleads, he begs the Light Fury, save him, and let's go. And then we get this little Reichenbach falls. You know, the final, what was it? The final problem, that Sherlock Holmes story.
Yeah.
Between Hiccup and Grimmel, and Grimmel is like tearing Hiccup's wings off. His arm, the armor is scratched, and this is the writer's way of having Hiccup finally accept the fact that he has to break his connection to Toothless, and the final piece of that is his leg, the leg that bonded him and Toothless, that he used to control the tail fin. That was the symbol of their friendship.
Yeah. The connecting piece.
Mm-hmm. And I believe it was put in there to help us, make the connection, that
move on
to make the connection. This is to pretty much get us mentally prepared for the goodbye scene.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's just something. It's great writing. It was great writing. It's symbolic and mean stuff, but I know. But it really just shows how much Hiccup has grown. Oh my god, I definitely know when it comes out on Blu-ray, it's probably gonna be playing in my player for a month straight.
Yeah, I mean, this is the series that built you guys.
Oh,
this is what your channel is known for. And this is the series that started me as well, really.
Yeah. It's funny that it's not how my channel didn't start out this way. I was hoping to do movie reviews, but the series was a way for me to get comfortable in front of the camera.
Oh yeah.
And through all the reviews, I've learned like what it is that I focus on, what it is, what do I like. It just as Toothless kind of helped Hiccup find himself, and Hiccup helped find Toothless, helped find Toothless, help Toothless find himself. This series helped us find ourselves.
It really did.
And I know this kind of almost sounds like that's the end of our discussion. No. No, we still got more.
We still got more to go.
I don't know how much, but there's still more to talk about. And yeah, I honestly love the interactions between Hiccup and Toothless, especially when Hiccup is coming around to the idea that he has to let Toothless go, and Toothless is the one that still reestablishes that there is a connection. Like when he gives him the new tail, which by the way, another callback.
Yes.
Yes!
Fury.
Definitely.
Is that, Toothless is so excited that now he can fly on his own. He can fly with the Light Fury, his potential mate. And then he bounds off in order to seek her, but stops. And he looks back at Hiccup, almost like saying,
"Can I have your permission, Dad?
Can I go?" And then the final send-off is that Toothless gives him a bear hug.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Feels.
So,
Okay, we can't put this off anymore. We gotta talk about the ending.
the ending!
Gotta talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah,
where do we start?
Let's see, normally, when I was watching the movie, I was kind of thinking, alright, yeah, that's the end. Where's the whole, there were dragons when I was a boy. Oh, DreamWorks, you know how to go the extra mile.
Yeah.
We get an epilogue.
We get an epilogue. Well, what'd you think? Yeah, what'd you think of Chief Hiccup's beard?
Something like I might look like in about 10 years.
Also, I was like, I was looking at this, like, oh my god, I'm so happy you guys decided to, age up your characters, to give it life,
Mm-hmm.
and to see, they're kids. Oh, they're kids.
They're kids.
They're kids. Oh my god, the boy looks like Astrid, and the girl looks like Hiccup.
Oh my god, and their names are actually confirmed.
Which sadly disappointing.
What are the names?
It's a little... Okay, the girl's name is Zephyr,
I like that.
and the boy's name is Nuffink. Nuffink. Personally, if I was in charge of naming them, I would have named the daughter Cammy, and I would have named the son Finn.
Yeah. Give a nice shout out.
Mm-hmm. But these were names that apparently were chosen by Cressida Cowell herself.
Yes. So I ain't off arguing with the god of the books.
Mm-hmm.
If the god chooses it,
We'll leave that for the anime fans.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, I said it. Come at me.
You had to egg him on.
Mm-hmm. Alright, it's a response to Full Metal Alchemist, Ian. But... Oh my god. So, the epilogue is all... And... this is all done with the track Once There Were Dragons from the soundtrack, which, okay, by the way, yes, I listened to the soundtrack before seeing the movie, so I might have a little idea of what was going to happen in the end, but
It couldn't prepare you.
it still didn't prepare me. It still didn't take away from the emotional experience. Okay, Hiccup and Astrid get married.
Of course, I'm imagining the entire theaters were screaming like, yes!
Ian, were you trying to contain yourself? I can just see you going in the theaters.
You're containing...
Going like...
Yes, you're containing your excitement
was
for
doing-
the extra fandom.
I'm going.
Then we get a flash forward. I'd say maybe about 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
Confirmed 10 years.
10 years.
It's been confirmed 10 years. So it's Hiccup in his 30s.
Hiccup in the 30s.
Well, he's still as cool as ever. Astrid still as beautiful as ever. They got they have 2 kids, and they're
And the 2 kids are adorable as all can be.
They're sailing in a longship, and they get to the edge of the hidden world. Which then I just remembered. I remember what else to talk about.
Which?
No, we'll get to that.
Let's go.
And you just so happen to see, and Toothless and his mate the Light Fury just happen to be right out there.
And what do we see?
And then all of a sudden you see 3 little heads pop up behind the rocks.
Yes!
Babies!
Yes!
Night lights!
Baby night lights!
Oh, did you guys know that there's Funko Pop Baby Nightlight?
Yes,
Yes.
I got one of them.
He's got them.
I pre-ordered all 3 of them. I'm expecting the other 2 in some time.
Ooh.
Okay, then Toothless senses something entering his territory. He jumps onto the head of the ship and looks ready to fight. Looks at goes onto the ship, and Hiccup, still as calm as ever, reaches out his hand, turns away, and Toothless's his pupils dilate, and tackles him.
Yes.
And playfully, he remembers.
Yeah.
And this was actually confirmed by Dean that in the epilogue that after when Toothless returned to the hidden world, that he forgot about his old life. But which makes that moment just so
much better.
It's so much. It gives that so much more weight, because he may have forgotten his old life, but he never forgot the bond.
Mm-hmm.
He brings his kids up. They're frightened. They're frightened because they've never seen a dragon before.
They've never seen a dragon. It's just the looks on their face. They're terrified.
It instructs them to bring their hands out. And Toothless just connects with them. They're so surprised. And of course, we end with the flying scene.
Of course.
Okay, that's now my favorite. And Once There Were Dragons is now my favorite track from the soundtrack. Oh my god! And it's and how it ends is saying that, yes, dragons are actually still here. They're just hidden.
Just hidden.
Every time there's a natural disaster, it's them telling us that they're still here. Waiting for a time when humans and dragons can live together.
I find that clever because it means they sort of left themselves a little backdoor for actual sequels.
Mm-hmm. So it's not the connection to modern times that you were thinking, Ian, but it's close.
It's close. Oh.
Man. And oh my god, the whole epilogue feels like a callback. Even the music, they bring back forbidden friendship, not just the main motif, but even after that, the build up and the vocals.
Oh yeah.
I always loved that part. Oh god.
You're gonna cry, man.
Yes,
Aw, come on, man.
it was so beautiful. Anyone else care to chime in?
I think he spoke for us all.
Yeah, I mean, at the end
Not
of
really I can add
the
to this.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, when lights came on and the credits were playing, Haley and I just sat in our seats. We sat back, and we watched these young children dancing around, and I'm like, this is not a happy ending. Why are you dancing? Then it hit me. Those children will never know.
Yet.
They will never know what it's like to grow up with this series.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
It is.
Now. Alright, now, how about the animation?
Animation's beautiful. Honestly, I already reiterated what the first time entering the hidden world, and as he is masterfully showing, bowing down before the animation gods.
Yes. It was
beautiful.
Amazing. I mean, especially the wide shots, or especially like the wide shot of Stormfly on the edge of the hidden world. I mean, that much distance, it looked so real.
It looks stunning. And cinematography is nothing to scoff at either.
No, it isn't. I guess, but the thing is, there weren't as many frames that stood out like in movie 2.
Yeah, in movie 2.
But that's probably because I've rewatched movie 2 enough.
It's more action packed. Like, it's not to say this is not action packed, but there was more on the line.
Mm-hmm.
But this was not as on the line. There was something on the line, but not as much as movie 2. And honestly, the art so beautiful. I could probably gush about it all day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where did it start? Like, I at one point I wanted to say, when I saw how much art and hard work went into this, I'm like, Pixar, you've been usurped.
Mm-hmm.
Pixar, you've been usurped.
You've been served.
No, usurped, as in...
Usurped, oh, okay.
Usurped, as in dethroned by the animation.
I know.
For if only for a brief moment, until they try to come up with the next top pixely thing to take back that crown.
I think that when you saw the movie, did you think that, yes, this is awesome, this is Oscar worthy?
It better win an Oscar.
I did, yeah.
I think so too.
Again, this better win at the Annie Awards.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
And according to Wikipedia that I read earlier today, it is presently the third highest grossing film of 2019.
The third?
The third.
Not bad.
Nice. Alright. Top 5, not bad.
Not bad at all.
But I heard a noise.
He had to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if there was baby night fears around that corner.
Nope, nothing.
Sadly but true.
Alright, Ian, was there anything else that you wanted to mention?
There's a couple things I would have liked to see. The dragons that we did mention. I wanted to hear or see someone call Snotlout a mutton head.
One last time.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear Snotlout say his battle cry.
Yes.
Snotlout, oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi.
I would have liked maybe some more references to the series.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Maybe when they were talking about where could they go, they could have probably mentioned the old outpost island's not big enough.
Yeah, I wish it had said that. I wish it had at least name drop Berserk Island.
Mm-hmm. But for what we got, I mean, like I said, the overall story is just solid.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh, yeah, and also, we also can't forget about the flashbacks.
Okay.
Ian, why don't you take this
Who
one?
here is so glad we finally got to see Stoic?
Us, yeah, right here.
Again.
Oh man.
I mean, yeah, we saw him in the series, and that's good.
Mhm.
But I feel like this is better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was tearing up at seeing him again. I was not expecting this, and
Are you gonna cry?
no,
That's okay.
yeah,
It's okay.
but just it really hits you hard.
Oh yeah, especially the second one.
The second one,
Oh god.
God, are we gonna get a new mommy? Oh, Hiccup, please.
Ah!
No! You innocent boy.
Curse you, DreamWorks.
Mm-hmm.
Curse you for tugging my feels.
And that's just so sad, because Hiccup lost his mom. He probably doesn't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably only knows what people told him. So to hear him come down and say that, and we see Stoic crying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The last time we actually did see him cry, or at least getting close to that, is when he thought his son was dead after the battle with the Red Death.
And
Yeah.
true, Stoic
And-
may not have been an exemplary father, but he tried his best.
And that's what counts.
Mm-hmm. And he did make up for it after the war with the dragons ended.
Oh yeah. He more than made up for it long after that. He made up for it in the series, helping everything that he needed to when needed.
Mm-hmm. And it was after I saw the second time that I was actually able to I picked up a few things. We now kind of have a little bit of a mental map of Stoic's mental map. That in the first flashback, when he's talking to Hiccup about the hidden world, you can actually kind of see a glimmer of sadness in his eyes, and that's because he's still thinking of how Volca was taken away by a dragon. And so when you hear Hiccup say that finding the hidden world was an obsession of his, and the reason why he wanted to find it, because he wanted to seal it up, to get rid of the dragon, so that this would never happen again. But I think after a few unsuccessful attempts, he turned
to anger.
He decided that the dragon's nest, where the Red Death would be more successful because it was closer.
Yeah.
And it's the best he could do. But again, after attempt of it not working, and coupled with his son, growing up to not really being kind of like a Viking,
the way he wanted.
And yeah, then you can kind of see how he became the man he was in the first movie.
Dragons has so much growth that it's not even funny. Most movie trilogies just kind of just laughs at them because they just kind of reiterate same thing, same schlock each sequel.
Mm-hmm.
But Dragons dares to be different.
Yes.
What makes it stands out?
Alright, so...
Feeling awfully somber in here.
It does feel somber. Well, how can you just feel so positive with a movie with the final movie in a trilogy that just ended that great? I mean, we already talked about the epilogue where they reunite, and we kind of know they're not completely cut off.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, this was still so good.
What's there left to talk about?
I really don't know. I think we pretty much hit everything.
We touched on all base. We touched on animation. We touched on villains.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on the particular moments. We touched on
the production problems. The
recasting. I don't. Stoic coming back and making us teary-eyed. We touched on, letting go. Not that kind of let it go.
Yeah, yes, we get it. Yeah, we get it. Frozen was a thing.
Yes, but we touched on all these bases, and
so
I guess it's time for us to let it go.
Well, you mean I've had this thought, this kind of response planned out in my head that yes, we can say goodbye, but really, I don't think that's really appropriate. Goodbyes suggest permanency. And yes, maybe the dragons won't ever return.
It's a goodbye for now.
Yeah, it's more of a see you later, because we still got the movies, we still got the series, we still have the comics.
We still got books.
Yeah. So we may not go on adventures anymore, but we still have the memories. We still have the memories,
and they'll stick with us. Even if we forget them, they'll still be with us.
Mm-hmm. And maybe one day, the dragons will return.
Maybe one day.
But until then, I have no regrets.
Same here.
Mm-hmm. Again, this is the series that built your guys' channel, built my channel, and as far as I know, based on your current plans, John, you're done with dragons for the most part on your channel. You've reviewed almost everything, right?
Yeah.
We reviewed everything up to date.
Mm-hmm.
So your guys' Dragons review series may be over. However, mine is not.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
And I talked to Rebecca. We're planning on picking it back up this summer.
Nice.
Can't wait to see what you guys hold in store.
So the series may be over, but my review series isn't. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, I just remembered something, actually.
Ooh.
Okay. Alright, remember in our very first Dragons podcast, our final thoughts? How we brought up the
way
glyph,
back when.
The glyph at the end of season 2?
Yeah.
When you look at it,
my hunch.
When you look at it more closely, it really, now that you have context, you're going like, of course! But what I notice is that surrounding the Night Fury emblem, are also the symbols of the other dragons that are like converging on this. It's making a circle, sort of like kind of like the entrance to the hidden world. the hidden world where all the dragons reside. And so yeah, the writers were pretty much just giving us a hint of exactly what's in store in the third movie. Which not bad. Still have a little issues in that plot thread went nowhere in the series.
Yeah, but I'm don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So I'm sorry. What, Ian?
Did Dean get back to you on that?
No, Dean
on
still
Twitter.
hasn't gotten back. Dean still hasn't gotten back to me. He hasn't even responded. He and DreamWorks have not even responded to my video of the top 10 best moments. Well, never. I don't even know what I was expecting.
it was a long shot.
It was a long shot. I mean, I'd have to be pretty narcissistic to think that someone like Dean DeBlois, and I finally found out how to pronounce his last name. It's amazing what turning on an audio commentary of the movie will do. Yeah. But yeah, I must be pretty narcissistic to think that someone like Dean DeBlois and DreamWorks would actually respond to me. Luckily enough, I'm not narcissistic.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all we can think of to talk about the Hidden World, and probably until after this podcast, this little chat is over.
Yeah.
So, I guess that means now we move on to the actual review. We give it our rating.
Whew.
Really? No one wants to make the first move?
I want to give it, with the new rating and the old rating, A- with 4 stars with 2 is Siskel and Ebert's 2 thumbs up.
Out of 5?
Out of 5.
Okay, 4 out of 5. I definitely give it an A. Like I said, solid story, great animation, good character art, character stories, cinematography, colors, music, okay, everything. Plot is just a little shaky, so I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5. And 2 thumbs way up.
I gotta say, while it is a great movie, I don't think it's as good as the first one.
Oh.
It tied with the second one, so I gotta say 4.5 out of 5 stars. Something like that. 2 thumbs up, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Great animation. Overall, just very good and a worthy conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So, what are we gonna do now, guys? I mean, I got my review series that I'll be working on, but what about us? Like fans, what are we gonna do?
Guess we just have to move on.
Just have to move on.
But it's okay to
mean,
look back
this
it's okay
is-
to look back.
I mean, we as human beings are constantly looking back, and this is not going to be any different.
Mm-hmm.
But in the words of the Robinson family from Disney's Meet the Robinsons, keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. Life will find a way.
Yeah. This is the thing that makes of why the hero's journey is such a constant in storytelling is because it is the human experience. When one journey ends, another begins. It's a cycle that just keeps going. And who knows? The next call to adventure may be right around the corner. All we have to do is cross that threshold.
Indeed.
Even though Dragons is over officially, I still have a movie to look forward to. John, you're probably not overly excited, but I am. But after that, I don't know what I'm doing.
What do you mean a movie?
Jurassic World 3.
Yeah.
There's a third one?
There's gonna be a third one.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, there was a Jurassic Park 3.
I know there's a Jurassic Park 3, but I thought Fallen Kingdoms would be the last.
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
No.
How does the ending of Fallen Kingdom... how does the end of Fallen Kingdom suggest that that's the final movie in the Jurassic saga?
Because I thought it bombed.
No, it did great.
Critically, yes, but financially, no, it was a hit.
Damn it. Okay, this is news to me. What's this new movie's name?
I don't...
Does not have a name yet.
Doesn't it have a name yet?
So, right now, the working title is
Nope.
still Jurassic World 3.
I just got blindsided with this.
Well, that... Okay, I definitely don't want to end the chat on that note.
That was funny.
Yeah. But... what we're... Okay, now that Dragons is over, there are still plenty of other projects that Tyler and I can do. We are still going to be doing movie reviews.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what time. It's definitely gonna be. It's definitely focused more on movies that were adapted from mostly Japanese movies, or at least took inspiration from Japan and anime.
Yeah, and then our baby project that we were discussing about a couple days ago.
Which one?
The DC.
Oh yeah, and we might, and we're also planning to talk about the DC animated universe that had the Batman animated series, Superman, Justice League Unlimited,
Batman Beyond, Static Shock.
Mm-hmm.
All of those. The stuff that we grew up with.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna focus on now that the dragons are gone. But
Along with my Dragons review series, I got the Tremors TV series to review. I got the Batman first season from the 60s with Adam West.
Oh, Adam West Batman.
I got products to review, so I review the first season of Big Bang Theory.
Oh, Big Bang Theory.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. And of course, there's also our podcast, where for the month of April we will be reviewing the original 4 Alien movies.
Oh yes. This should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
So until next time. Looks like. Oh, I thought we'd be talking for 3 hours. No, pretty much it's standard 2.
Yeah.
All right. All right, but until next time. Bye, everyone.
Later.
See ya.